Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
this morning. We're starting off at 6 a.m. and Logjaskal, if I pronunciated that correctly, is like, you're up pretty early. It's 7 o'clock here. It's 6 o'clock for you. You guys know. If you guys have been here, you guys know that we actually get up fairly early in the morning. Every now and again, you know, about halfway through the year, around summer vacay, we adjust the time, okay? And the problem is when Betty adjusts the time for all you summer vacay people, well, Betty gets a little kind of comfortable. Not waking up at the crack of dawn, you know? And then I start realizing I'm not getting as much done. So, you know, as we start rolling into the holidays at the end of the year, I'm starting to think about, you know, January 1st and our goals and chop, chop. Chop, chop, guys. Choppy, choppy. Choppy, choppy. It's time to get to work. And so then for the first time in my life to try to get my schedule back, because usually I do this every year, but I snap right back with my schedule. And long story short, I hadn't snapped back in my schedule. So what I had to do was start setting alarm clocks. I'm done with the alarm clocks. I have officially turned the alarm clocks off. It seems like Delilah's back in her normal time frame. Okay, so she has no problem, you know, jumping on me, say 3 o'clock in the morning and, you know, sneaking up the side of the pillow to get really close to me to let me know that she's awake, where she starts just pawing at her face, but she's like so close to my body that she keeps elbowing me, you know, being a dog and stuff. So I think our love fest with the alarm clocks is officially over. I think we've been getting up early enough. If you guys want to know what time I was up this morning, it was about 3:45. Okay, I love rising early. I am one of those early birds. Okay, I have always been one of those early birds up until my 20 drug addicted, you know, bullcrap self. Then, you know, noon was good for me. Noon was good. But before that, even as a child, I could stay up until midnight and be up running around the house at the crack of dawn. Okay, my sister not so much. She loved to sleep. My sister was a sleeper. I myself was not. As you guys can imagine, I was high energy as a kid, too. I was high energy, okay? I'm still high energy. Not a whole lot has changed over the years. I've gotten a little bit, you know, older, a little bit fatter, a little bit more abrasive. I don't know. Is it Jules' birthday? Is it Jules' birthday? Well, happy birthday, Jules. Happy birthday. Oh, wrong one. I really did hit the wrong button. And of course, you know, the laughy button's always sticky. I always have a problem hitting it and actually laughing when I want it to laugh. But all of a sudden today, it had no problem for you. I'm so sorry. Well, Jules, welcome. Thank you. Happy birthday. That button worked. They're right next to each other, okay? If you want to know, sometimes I hit the wrong button. They're right next to each other. This one isn't. Oops, no, let me get over there. This one isn't. Phil, it's nice to see you. Lisa B. always. Sonia, our beautiful Sonia, the real Me Too up in the chat. Poor real Me Too. I keep her going. I keep the real Me Too going. Brenda, it's nice to see you. Good morning, nerdy girl. Sonia blesses us with our beautiful presence. YouTuber, it's nice to see you. Texas, Jewel, I will sing you a tune. I will serenade your soul in just a few moments. YouTuber, Lisa B. always. It's nice to see you. And I'm sorry, Lisa, I did not acknowledge you yesterday. I felt bad because you said check Venmo, and I was just talking. I forgot to check Venmo, and then I'm rolling through, and I'm like, oh, what's this notification? Oh, I forgot. So I decided to give you a post, but since you're here, thank you so much. I wasn't meaning to be rude. It just happens. Melanie, it's nice to see you. Tammy, good morning. DNA, I gotta say, I like the little thumbnail. It you know, I feel like what is it? Techno dancing. I feel like getting a black light and going techno dancing. I like it. I really do. I'm like, that's really snazzy. I like that. I like it. Da Boss Bish, it's nice to see ya. Laura, hello, my love. Hello. It's nice to see ya. Al March, it's nice to see you. And then this just popped up on me. So let me go back up and see where we just left off from. I can't find you. I saw L March. I saw you. I did. There you are. I March L. Sorry. I Marshall? Is that supposed to say I Marshall? And it's just Marshall? I don't know. I don't know. I think you're playing some word games over here. You know, like I'm a love machine. They're like, oh, I'm a love machine. Yes, I am. Bullhorn Betty's a love machine. What can I say? What can I say? Bill, it's nice to see you, me and you. Good morning. It's bright and early. If you haven't quite got the crusty crust out of your eyes yet, just turn on the volume. I will scream them out of your eyes. You don't even have to wipe, okay? You don't even have to wipe. Why? Because we are the loudest channel on YouTube. We have gotten hundreds of thousands of people up bright and early begrudgingly to head off to work. And that's okay. We're going to do it again this. I mean, it's so early, Betty. Really? Really, Betty? This is an important video, and you had to go at 6 a.m., huh? Really? Today? You had to do it on hump day. Really? We're just barely getting through the damn week, and here you are, 6 a.m., bright and shiny, and it looks like you're caffeinated too, okay? Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. All right, guys, we may reduce the horizontal, I believe. Let me just make sure. For the first time in the morning, it doesn't appear we have for the first time, any issues with our stream in the vertical mode. However, I noticed I was a little sticky in the horizontal mode, so I'll work on it. Okay, folks, I'm going to work on it. But right now, it seems that our vertical, we got fixed up. Max, it's nice to see you. I'm going to go over here to the vertical side. For those that are in the vertical side, it's nice to see you. Who do we have? We have Libby. Sonia's over there monitoring. I know Phil's over here in the big chat, but it's nice to see you. Tap dancer Lizzie, it's nice to see you. Busy Mama. Don't forget to hit the thumbs button on both sides. We're giving good information. Busy Mama, it's nice to see you. Kimberly, Sassy Granny. Oh, it's nice to see you, Sassy. I hope you're doing well, love. Who else do we have over in the vertical stream? The boss gave a floating heart. Thank you. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Mags, good morning. It's nice to see you. Love, been a little while. It's been a little while. You're over there in the vertical mode. If you want to come over here, we got like 69. Not much people. I mean, about 40 more people than we do in the vertical. For those that are in the vertical, good morning. It's nice to see you. Even if you are a troll, we actually love your presence here. Not just because we know that we are part of your family, right? But we also put you in the house. Why? Because you can't be a Richard, okay? You can't be a Richard on the Bullhorn Betty channel, okay? And if you want your very own Don't Be a Richard shirt, which I love this shirt, please reach out to Sonia. Please reach out to Sonia. I'm not sure. I have to think that, Christmas is kind of getting cut off, folks. I don't think, mail-in, we're going to be able to get stuff to you before Christmas. But hey, I'm not going to speak for Sonia. Reach out to Sonia. If she can get it to you, get it done. Get it done, son. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. The Christmas bells are about to ring. The Christmas bells are about to ring. Later on by the fire. Okay, stop. All right, we got a song to sing anyways. As is, we gotta say happy birthday to Jules. Jules has been here for a while. I mean, she's been through, I don't know how she puts up with me without beating me senseless, but she's been around a while. She's been here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Hold on, I gotta get the hat. You can't do anything without the hat. You can't do anything without the famous hat. Da, 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 da. Yeah. All right. I don't know what the hell I did with the glasses. It's literally starting to drive me absolutely nutty. Okay, I'm becoming nutty I'm going to be the nutty professor before long because I'm going crazy over these damn, glasses. I got matching birthday glasses and I wore them the last time. I usually stick them in the hat and now I can't find the darn glasses. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Don't ever say we don't do things for our people here on this show, okay? Because I don't see anybody else turning the camera on and looking ridiculous to make you special. But I love you. I love you folks. And I love Jewel even more because half of you folks I can't stand. At least I can stand her. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So here we go. We're not even going to get through the rest of it. We're just going to go right on in because, she's just that special. Jewel. You are the babe, okay? So happy birthday, babe, from Bullhorn Betty and family to you, your coffee beaners. All right, let me turn this around so we can get the whole happy birthday. Do I have to feel like I'm wearing it wrong? I feel like I'm wearing it wrong. So let's just get started. I ought to get the voice. No, we're not going to do Oscar. Okay, we're not going to do Oscar. I could do Oscar if I choose to do Oscar. You know what? It is my show, but it's your birthday. So we'll do Brenda. I think you like him a little bit better. I don't know. So, well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jewel. Happy birthday to you.
Mission failed. We'll get him next.
And I decided to get the echo on just to kind of make it a little bit longer so I didn't have to fight for breathing. But I still had to fight for the breathing. Maybe I should sing happy birthday a little more, It's been a while since I've been stoned, but I'm feeling a little lightheaded up in the house this morning. Don't say I never did nothing for you. Don't say I never did nothing for you. There you go. Serenading women all over the world. Oh, you guys are great. I would say we're not going to tell what Jewel's birthday is, but I have a funny feeling she's telling on herself just by her name. I'm not saying nothing, Jewel. I'm just saying happy birthday. Just saying. Not playing. Just saying, not playing. Look at that. All right, guys, let's get back to it. And you know what I forgot to do? Our beautiful Melanie sent us something, right? She sent us this beautiful photo of her area. Oops, I got it down. There we go. Of the area. Talk about beautiful. I think I didn't quite get it. There we go. I got the other tree. There we go. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. And we forgot to share it. The vertical stream gets to see a little bit more of it. So if you guys want to pop over to the vertical stream and see the whole thing, it's just gorgeous. Folks, it's gorgeous. A beautiful, beautiful, serene, you guys know I don't know where the love of snow comes from. It's just beautiful to me. Okay, just white. Okay, just white. Just white glittering everything, and then you step in it, it's like crunch, 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 and it's like, you just lay in it and you can just roll in it. I just love snow. I love snow, but more importantly, I love snowballs. Why? Because I'm a problem, okay? I identify as trouble. I identify as problems, and if I'm around snow, I would say duck. I'm just saying, okay? We have rules for you hanging out with Bullhorn Betty, and when you're in snow, I wouldn't turn your back on Betty. You might get a snowball up the side, the back of the head. Is that still considered abuse? Is throwing a snowball, is that a felony? I mean, I just want to know because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it in Sumner County, okay? I think I can get away with it in any other county, and I think I can even get away with it in Hawkins County, okay? But I don't know. I'm a little scared for the folks that's in Sumner County. I wouldn't enjoy that snow too much, okay? Because your sheriff likes to lock innocent people up and let criminals run the streets. So I don't know what's going on out there in Sumner County, but I'd be a little, I'm not sure if I'd hit the snowballs just yet, okay? I mean, make the snowmen, okay? Hide behind the snowman if you're going to throw the snowball, okay? And then blame it on the snowman, okay? If you're in Sumner County, that's what you're going to have to do. I didn't make the rules. I'm just telling you how to play the rules, okay? I just don't want to see any of you good-hearted people out there having fun going to jail because you committed a felony for throwing a snowball at Mr. Struggle Snuggles, okay? I'm sorry. We value the safety of each and every one of our audience members, okay? I just want to be sure that everybody knows that. We value you, okay? So we got that. Yesterday we were here and we were talking about dogs. Well, this morning, that's Tennessee right now. No, that's not Tennessee. That's PA. That's PA. I don't like, because it comes from audience members, so I don't like telling people too much intel and information about stuff, but it's not a Tennessee photo. It's a PA photo. We just love snow, so it doesn't really matter what part of the world you're from, even from Nova Scotia. I saw somebody in here from Nova Scotia. I have to think that it's getting pretty cold in Nova Scotia. I'd like to see some of those Canadian photos. You guys get brutal winters, okay? I think you guys get just absolutely just beat up, okay? You Canadian folks, I don't know how the hell you guys live in Canada in some of those places, but you do, and God bless you for doing it. I don't know what draws you to that, unless you just, like, identify as an Eskimo. I'm not quite sure why you go there. Mad Chatter said, I can't hear. Turn your volume up. I'm pretty loud. I don't know if you can miss me. Is my volume down? Let me just go check my volume. Let me just make sure we got everything. I did a mess of stuff on here. Like, just absolutely a mess of work. It was quite extensive this morning. That's up. Ooh, you're right. All right. Well, there you guys go. I cannot believe you guys couldn't hear me. Well, thank you for letting me know. Mad Chatter? Well, here, hold on. I don't think I was loud this morning. Hell, let's turn the volume way up. Okay, there we go. Now we the loudest. How can you guys allow me to be that embarrassed? Oh, you guys just let me go on and on and on, and you guys can barely hear me. You just tell me my lips moving, and you're like, oh, she, something's wrong with her. We are the loudest channel on YouTube, but if we're not the loudest, you guys need to let me know. You wouldn't let your friend walk out looking fat in those pants. Why would you allow me to run a show without me screaming in the damn microphone, folks? This is all your fault. Every single one of your faults. I'm just saying. No, I'm glad you guys could hear me. Now, let me turn the microphone down. I think it might be... It's busted my ears at this point, okay? So if you guys are that deaf, well, then let me see your ears, because I'm supposed to be deaf. I've been deaf my entire life. So, just saying. I woke up. No power electric company is working on repairing, so I'm in total darkness without heat. Oh, my gosh, no! Well, it's back off. Grandson bundled up. Well, you know what? That's the joy of living in that cold-ass weather. I'm just saying. You see where I'm at. I'm next to molten lava, okay? I'm just saying. Good, it's PA. Don't let the snow allow. Nicole's like, don't let that snow come to Tennessee. You know it's coming. You know that snow's knocking on your door. Y'all in Tennessee, go ahead and get those shovels. You guys are going to need those snow shovels. For the men, go ahead and put those plows up on it's time to start going out and marketing yourself, because you know you're going to need to get that extra Christmas money. Excuse me, that extra Christmas money. cleaning up those, cleaning that snow out of those parking lots. Great extra little tidbits of money. Go out and make yourself a buck or two. It's a great time of the year. Get those things put on the front end of the trucks. Get them out there. Get them out there. So we came across, somebody sent me this whole situation where there's human remains. Human remains were found in Marion County, Tennessee. So you know me, I'm looking at a lot of different things. I always come here to see where we are from Hendersonville or where we are from, Memphis, because those are the spots that Chris and Katie have both frequented. So I wanted to make sure that I had a good understanding of where the proximity of this is before I even look for who's missing from the area. We do, just for your information, we do have people missing from that area. Several people, as a matter of fact, because I try to go in there and do some research, and some of this stuff, dates back years. And I don't know if my research would date back years. So this is a great opportunity for AI to really help, identify certain information that we're unable to identify. Hey, Marianne, YouTuber, who we got? Mama, Faye. Good morning, guys. Oh, good gracious. You must be across the pond, Marianne, for it to be 10:23 there. Where are you? Are you over in UK? Ireland? I think that's 4 hours away. I don't know what's 4 hours away. I would think 4 hours would be across the pond. It's sleepy time for you. Aww. Well, don't let us keep you up, Marion. Thank you for coming by in Australia. I gotcha. Well, I found out from somebody else that it's summer there. So, it's starting to become winter on this. It's so odd to be in a chat and somebody's experienced winter and we're all bundled up like freaking Eskimos. Well, oh my goodness, that's too hot. Oh, good gracious. Oh, good gracious. So while America's freezing, you're in molten lava. Gotcha. Well, God bless you. Keep cool. I don't know what else to say. Ice? I just don't go outside. Whatever you do, don't spend very much time and hydrate the crap. That's what we have to do here. We have to hydrate. Who else do we have? We got somebody. Mellycat. Good morning, love bug. Tanya, Michelle, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Winter months here are rough in Michigan. Oh, I bet. I've got a friend that lives in Michigan. Linda, good morning. Rena. Oh, Rena, it's nice to see you, love. It's nice to see you. Good morning. You guys are all in the vertical chat. I just want to let you know you're more than welcome to stay there. I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between the vertical chat and our chat here. I think that would be, at least I'm trying. I'm trying to remember to bounce back and forth between the two because I've been kind of, not, even though I can't show you on the channel, I can at least acknowledge your existence. So, Phil, it's nice to see you. Tammy, Hobo's mama. Oh, hey, Falker's dad. It's nice to see you. Hello from Briar. It's nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Today's going to be the coldest day here for this week. Okay, it's not going to the temperatures are going to be pretty cold, pretty cloudy, overcast today. Tomorrow it starts warming up. I thought today was going to be the breakfast, so I was like, burr, but it's not. It was yesterday, which was still cold in the morning. I was still bitterly cold. Thank God for that jacket. It did cover my legs and I love that. I love that jacket, okay? I know that it was an impulse buy for me because, it was almost gone. And I wanted to have one of those jackets. I saw that jacket and I'm like, that is so me. I have never seen, hey, Joe, it's nice to see you. I had never seen a jacket like that. If you guys haven't seen it, go back to my live yesterday morning. I go over it. It's hard to flip between chats and remember who you said good morning to. I know, it's hard. Now you know what my problem is. But getting back to this, this human remains. So I went and asked ChatGPT about these these remains. And we do have several people that are missing from this Marion County, okay? Quite a few. I think almost a dozen, maybe 10 people. I've got a list of it. So we're going to go over there. Now, if you guys want to research and maybe a fine tune where this is, I have not, put these people or pinned where these people disappeared from on the map, on the Tennessee map in Marion County to find out who would be in this area. But there are a few that appear, at least two that appear that it possibly could be. I don't know the area. Only people in Tennessee in Marion County. So if we have anybody from Marion County in either one of our chats, either a vertical stream or a horizontal stream, maybe you guys can help identify this, or somebody that's from Tennessee. Hey, Dixon, it's nice to see you. Or maybe somebody from Tennessee that that knows Marion County and would know who's the closest to this, because you would know where this person was found. We're about to read it, and we're going to read some other people and some other details about their cases. And only people that are out here, I don't know where these places are. So I'm ignorant. I can't tell you who this may be. I can only give you the information of who are missing, and there are quite a few. So it's a little concerning for me. Guys, do me one favor. We got 119 people in our main chat, and we've got 28 people in our vertical chat. If you guys would give me a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Tapping is clapping. So I do appreciate, I did steal that from Stephanie. You guys, I'm gonna give Stephanie credit, at least for the first few months, because I like some of the statements. Some of the stuff she comes up with is just really clever. I really like it. So she deserves the credit for it, but it's kind of hard not to steal it after you hear it. So no pun intended. No pun intended. Okay, so let's get over to what we're talking about when it comes to this Marion County, Tennessee body being found. So there was remains, excuse me, there were remains that were found in, I got that line on the vertical, it's just driving me nuts. There we go, that should take it away. That were found in Marion County, Tennessee. Now, Marion County, Tennessee is about 4 to 5 hours away from Memphis, and is about 2.5 hours or so away from Hendersonville, Tennessee. So it is a significant drive, but we know that the parents have traveled, so that doesn't deter us too much from, looking into this or totally dismissing it, so to speak, saying it's somebody else, right? But I'm not 100% that this had anything to do with Sebastian, but many people were sending it to me, so I thought, people were concerned, probably wanted some information. This is another one that I do not believe has anything to do with Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers or Layla Santinello or Holland Snap or Summer Wells. And the reason why I bring up all four of those is because those are our four major cases that we here on the Bullhorn Betty channel are covering in the state of Tennessee. But human remains, and I've never been in Marion County, and Marion County is actually kind of closer to Summer, Holland, and Layla than it is Sebastian. So just to clarify of where it is on the state, so you guys know. But human remains have been found in an unspecified wooded area off Sequatchie Mountain Road. Sequatchie, Sequua, Sequat, and then Chie. So Sequatchie, I think, is the proper pronunciation. Sequatchie Mountain Road in Marion County, Tennessee. No details are currently available regarding the identity or identifying characteristics like female, white, black, male, adolescent, adult, child. We don't know. No characteristics. So, okay, perfect. I did get that right. Perfect. Please remember all those who are missing from or near Marion, Tennessee, and keep all of those with missing loved ones in your thoughts and prayers as we wait for answers, so we don't know who this person is. And then, of course, we come over here to see if we can find, narrow down any information on what we've learned. And it says we're working to learn more about the discovery of human remains in a remote area of Marion County that has prompted state state investigations, the TBI confirms to our newsroom that agents were called out to a wooded area off of Sequatchie Mountain Road Tuesday morning. So this just happened, folks. This just happened yesterday. This is the road right here, this wooded road. So it's out there in a place that, in all fairness, we would in all fairness, we would identify this wooded area as a good place for dumping. Okay, this is not, in my opinion, this doesn't have a whole lot to do with somebody just killing over. You know, are there hikers out there? Yes, there are. We know, we've met a lot of people that just love going in the mountains and walking around. Okay, there's a lot of hikers in the state of Tennessee. Is it possible somebody was out here in this park and, you know, just keeled over from natural causes? Heart attack, stroke, attack, an animal attack, a snake bite. Okay, people don't realize snake bites can kill you. Okay, depending on what type of snake. Some snakes are more lethal than others, and if you don't know what you're doing, or you're out in the middle of nowhere and you have no way of communication or getting help, you can't just walk, because the more you walk, the more that poison is going into your blood, the more you're going to, you know, eventually succumb to the toxins in your body that are slowly killing, you know, your organs and other things that help you survive. So you do have some other ailments that you have to look at, not just foul play or not foul play. I mean, this is a park. This is a national area. This is a national park. There are people that go out there to bird watch, to sightsee, to wildlife see. There's a lot of people that have a lot of different, hobbies and likes, you know, people that have interests in certain things. So long story short, we don't know who this is, but let's get back on track here. Where was I at? Just chatting. Hold on, guys. Where is my... I don't like any of these. There we go. I guess Summer Wells is going to have to be the one. Oops. I was just on one. I think it was because I shared my screen, but I sometimes don't want to just share my screen. I want to put my face on the screen. Oh, well. So this, you know what this reminds me of, this picture here? It reminds me of Caitlin Harp from Pennsylvania. This was kind of around this looked like some of the roads that I was riding down. And yeah, hiking is awesome. It's nice. I used to do it up in New Hampshire, in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. I used to have a condo in the Twin Mountains. Kangamanga Highway. I drove off of Kangamanga Highway. So this is the Sequatchie Mountain Road. This is kind of the area where you saw the remains. And TBI hasn't said who the victim is. So here are the victims that I've been able to go to ChatGPT. Oops, let me get this. Let me get you guys situated here. Sorry, everybody's going to need to be situated, so just bear with me while I get these this stuff brought up there. Okay. All right, and I think we just need to go in just a little bit on the vertical. I don't know why it's so hard on the... Good gracious. Okay. All right, I think we got it on the vertical well. I think we've got it on the horizontal pretty well. So the first person on there is Wesley Del Ridge. He was last seen March 7th, 2016 in Jasper, Haletown area of Martin County. Short summary, adult male. Phone activity ended the same day. He's a NamUs. He's part of the Charlie Project. There's no real... So that's 2016. Then we've got James Roger Tant. He was last seen March 9th, 10th, 2012. And this is in South Pittsburgh, Marion. A short summary is adult male, reported missing months after disappearance. Case is listed with Marion County Agency, and he's part of NamUs, okay? We got a Mackenzie Corey Cooner, And this is interesting because this one was camping in Monteagle area within Marion County. I don't know where that Monteagle area is in Marion County. And this might be, it might be whatever that, excuse me, the area is that we were just talking about, the Sequatchie, area. I don't know. So that is, that's obviously right here, the McKinsey one. And then we got Stacy Annette Crawford, and this person went missing August 11th and 12th, 2021. And this is by Big Daddies on Highway 156 in Guild, Marion, listed as local missing person roundup. So I don't know what that all means. Then we got Christopher Lee Dean, and this person went missing August 12, 2023, almost a year later. And this person disappeared on Smokehouse on Highway 41 in Monteagle, Marion County. So we got a couple people disappearing from Monteagle, Marion County. Interesting. Then we have William K. Jackson. This is an infant. I don't remember hearing about this infant, but this infant has been missing since October 19th, 2023 from Marion County, Tennessee. And you guys know how I feel about little babies disappearing. They're either been abducted by a mommy or daddy, or they've been injured by a mommy or daddy. I don't think there's a whole lot of differences. I don't think there's really much difference. So we got 8 people here. Erica Williams. This person was reported missing from Marion County Sheriff's site as missing, last seen off Ladd Switch Road. I don't know where that is. Headed into the woods. This is what intrigued me about this one. Headed into the woods. Dog returned alone. So it sounds like a woman, Erica Williams, walked into the wood with her dog, and her dog came back without her. And she's never been found again. Now, I don't know how close this is, but this right here really sounds very interesting for the area that's being described in these articles. And then, of course, Philip Gage Thrasher, which was listed in 2024 into 2025, local reporting as Marion missing person. He was last heard from March 31st, 2024. It doesn't really say what area he disappeared from. So there are the folks that we've heard is missing from that area. I would anticipate that these remains are one of those people, or maybe a person that even ChatGPT didn't acquire. I did not do the research on this. I used ChatGPT because I thought ChatGPT would give us more accurate, assessments of this case. You know what? Let me go over to ChatGPT real quick. Let me make sure this is not up. Give me just a second. Let me go over to ChatGPT because we were just in it, and let me expand on that. Chat. Here we go. Let me just expand on that. We already have them doing most of the work. So missing person. Here we go. Let me go here and write. Which person was the closest to, let me go back to that. I just deleted those articles. Let me pull them up real quick. History, human remains, wooded area, Marion County. Here we go. So let me, Sequatchie, small. Sequatchie Mountain Road. Let's see if we can cut and paste this kind of in there. See if we can find it. Which person was the closest to Sequatchie Mountain Road? Let's see if it produces something. Okay. The most recent remains, let me put this up here so you guys can read it. And then we'll get started on the dogs. Sorry, guys. Yeah, and the reason why we're doing this is because you guys, we're talking about the dogs because of our conversation last night. You guys wanted to explore the dogs, so I found out everything we need to get, understand factually what has been said to the public from law enforcement and others. Oh my God! Earbuds. They rolled over our buttons, and our buttons, I tapped a button, so let me get this wrapped. Sorry, I want to make sure that I don't do that again. But my earbuds just hit that button. Ethiopia. Okay, so I did ask this a question. And I asked it if, which missing person was the closest to this Sequatchie, whatever. And this is what it says. It says, good question. Based on public available reporting, the only missing persons from Marion County Sheriff's Department who was last reported location is near what would be possibly near Sequatchie Mountain Road is none of the named missing persons. So far, there is no publicly listed case explicitly last seen in Sequatchie Mountain Road, of course, okay. The most recent remains discovery that prompted the question was posted in a remote area of Marion County off of Sequatchie Road, just outside of the community of Sequatchie, Tennessee. The publicly listed publicly listed missing persons from Marion County do not show a last seen location of blah, blah, blah. So conclusion, as of now, no identified person. So I'm just going to have to lean on folks that are in Tennessee to determine which person was the closest to this location, because there's somebody that was missing from this location or near this location, and people from Tennessee, in my opinion, would know that location. So there is that. Oh, let's go ahead and move this over. It looks like we're going to need this out just a little bit. We learned about the electronic dogs. We're not going to be talking about them just yet on this show. There you go. We're not going to be talking about them just yet, but they are part of the show. They are part of the show. So this just shows you 2 hours, 3 minutes from Hendersonville to Marion County, and it shows you where Marion County is. It's more closer to the Georgia line. I think that's the Georgia line. Is that the Georgia line? Yeah, the Georgia line, the Georgia and Alabama line than anything else. So that's closer to, say, not because Summer Wells is over further. So it's not even really close to Summer Wells, but it's definitely further away from Sebastian's case. And then it's, 4 hours, 4 hours, almost 5 hours from Memphis. So I my point is I don't think it has a whole lot to do with the case at hand right now. Okay, so many of you guys are here because of the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. And Sebastian was 15 when he was reported missing on February 26, 2024. He has since turned 17 on December 7th. He's been gone almost 2 years. The last time we've heard from him was on February 25th. The last time we seen him was February 25th, exiting the Texas Roadhouse. After that, he went home, according to the sheriff. He went home and disappeared thereafter, arriving at home. There are different speculations that many people believe. So, some people believe that there was some type of organization infiltrating the Texas Roadhouse that evening to maybe capture Sebastian. Some people believe that he left the location and never made it home. And then, of course, there is me, which I don't know, I find it's hard because when I deal with theories and possibilities, I look at multiple different things. I'm never really hooked on to one thing unless something like, a child being deceased. I'm kind of locked into that aspect when it comes to this case, just by the sheer gravity of time, the fact that we've never even had a sighting that panned out of him, so he's never been seen at all. The last time he was physically seen by any third party was the Texas Roadhouse, and then he went home with his mother and he disappeared. I do believe that there is a portion of the theory that can be had to having something at the Texas Roadhouse. Even though it's not high up on my personal totem pole of theories of what happened, the things that went on inside that store cannot be dismissed or explained. And like, I shouldn't say that. They could be explained, but they haven't been. We're coming up to 2 years, and not one time has anybody asked Katie why she was looking around in the Texas Roadhouse. Even with the piece of shit Dutchies and nonsense, or whatever they do, the crackpot work that they do, that they pat themselves on the back and think it's actual true crime work, which it's not. It's work that makes them feel good. It's not work that does good. Either way, nobody has ever asked them, nor have they answered why she was acting so strange and looking around. People have assumed, but they have not assumed. She's never explained herself. And she's not going to, because I truly think she murdered her son. But either way, we got on a conversation last night after going through the case with Sebastian Rogers. We got on a case last night about I guess I don't have one set up for Sebastian. Guys, give me just a second. Let me get a background on our main channel. Give me a second. There we go. I'll get a background. So we have something to look at here. There we go. Sorry, guys. I wanted to get a background for the folks that are... there we go. For the folks that are on vertical, they weren't matching up. So I wanted to make sure that they matched up. So anyways, getting back to this, Sebastian Rogers on the 25th, according to Sonny Weatherford, which was the sheriff at the time, Sebastian disappeared. He stated that his sheriff's deputies identified that Sebastian was home, did make it home. They have audio and of him going in, and that they also spoke of it being Sebastian that went out. Now, I just want you guys to understand, we heard directly from the sheriff. Now, there are people out there that say what Seth said about the video being grainy, which I don't think he ever viewed the video. I think he was told that from law enforcement. I don't think Katie has been able to view the video. I think, again, she was told that from law enforcement. I don't think that they have actual knowledge of whether or not this video was clear enough to make out Sebastian. But I did hear the sheriff state beyond a reasonable doubt that this child made it home, and I cannot dismiss that. Okay? I really don't care what Katie or Chris or Seth, for that matter, says about this or how grainy that video is, because so far I have never once heard them say that they personally viewed it. It is my understanding that that was only provided, information was provided by law enforcement. They're the ones that told them that it was grainy. And I think they told him it was grainy very early on in this case. Since then, I'm sure they've had people do exactly what we've had done to it, right? Where we go and put it through filters and try to enhance it and try to bring surface, stuff up, start messing with the low lights and the highlights and the darks and the whites and the saturation and, all the things that you can do and adjust and modify when it comes to photos. And they're not altering it, they're enhancing it, right? And so at this point, or even at the point when they sat down with the sheriff, it sounded like they conclusively found out maybe it was grainy at first. But according to the sheriff himself, he says as a statement of fact, The sheriff makes a statement of fact that it was Sebastian that took the garbage to the road. I can't dismiss that. You know, we do have Sheriff Snuggle Struggles caught in multiple misinformation campaigns, and I'm pretty confident it's because he's a new sheriff. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's very green, and he is scared of screwing up the integrity of the investigation, and his incompetence is showing. That's why he is scared and terrified of the camera or speaking. I'm sorry, any sheriff that is this terrified of a camera or speaking publicly, he should not be the sheriff of that county, okay? This is beyond unprofessional. Okay? And I'm not going to have some stupid hate channels tell me that we don't have a right to know. I'm sorry. I disagree. They work for the people. We don't have the right to know about every aspect of the case. That we do not have the right to know. But for anybody to come here and say that a sheriff doesn't have any type of reason or purpose to inform his community where a child disappeared from, I'm sorry. I strongly disagree with that statement. It is absolutely his responsibility to inform his public. And he has failed at the most basic job he does. The most basic job that he does, he has failed. And I'm sorry, if people out in Tennessee don't know what failure look like, well, you deserve everything you are getting. And when this comes knocking on your door, don't call Betty. Don't call Betty and say, hey, I need help. Well, why have you been watching me and doing nothing? You knew that this is the way the state of Tennessee is. You knew this is the way that Sumner County is, and you guys wanted to vote for popularity. Not for actual actions and doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. You want to be cool. You want to be cool. Being cool, even in school, got you nowhere. It got you D's and F's, okay? So for you folks out there in these small communities, let me enlighten you. I'm already starting to get mailers, political mailers, in my mailbox. I got 2 yesterday. We're a year away from voting, okay? And those are the people I'm not voting for, okay? But you know why? Because they're bought and paid for. Do you guys understand that? Those mailers cost money. You know who I want? I want the person knocking on my door. I want the person doing the legwork to get elected, not ones that just have the right last names and a daddy with a big old fat checkbook. Right? Do you guys understand that? I hope you do. I hope you do. This is a nightmare. This is a mess here in this county. But I digress. We have been totally off base about this case. We don't know what's going on with this case. We don't know about the dogs. Well, we do. We were back, almost 2 years ago. We had a good understanding of the dogs. But we also just came on here last night, and there was a lot of people confused about the dogs. Did the dogs hit? Did the dogs not hit? Is this another, we never looked at this and we never asked this question, and we need to. We know that Sheriff Snuggle Struggles does not want us to believe that the lights video that we see is truly lights moving in a common area, but we know for a fact it is, because the excuse that they gave us, the third, remember, they keep changing what it was, even law enforcement. That tells me right here that I know law enforcement is lying to the people, because remember, before it was a garbage truck. That was debunked. Law enforcement told Chris, Katie, and Seth to tell people it was a garbage truck, and that's what they did. Okay? Law enforcement told these 3 people to say that, and so that's what they did. They're following law enforcement's orders. Law enforcement wouldn't say it. They wanted to use Chris, Katie, and Seth to deceive the public because they didn't want to. When that was not working, they refused to talk about what the lights were. Okay? Then some year later, they decide to try to convince us that these lights are reflections of a moving truck on this 1 mile road that dead ends, that's not associated or attached to their community, They want us to believe that a car drove up, backed up, 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 drove up, back on a hill, right? They want us to believe that this truck did that for a minute and 30 seconds. It's impossible. It defies logic. Nobody's going to do that. So explain how we have moving lights through a common area to a vehicle for a minute and a half. It took a minute and a half to get from the side of Chris and Katie's house over to the vehicle that they loaded something large into. Okay? But Sheriff Snuggle Struggles wants us to believe differently. Oh, thank you. Which reminds me, we need to do a gift giveaway. We need to do gift giveaway things. I'm just coming off the shadow banning. So maybe we'll do you know what, in the spirit of the holidays, maybe we'll do a I guess we're at that point. I guess we're going to have to do a giveaway. What would you guys prefer? Let me ask you. Do a 1 or a 2. Would you prefer a shirt or a hat? A shirt or a hat? 1, a shirt. 2, a hat. A shirt or a hat. So we got 197 people in the main chat. So a shirt or a hat. So we got one for a shirt, 2 for a hat. Okay. All right. So we'll give a shirt giveaway. And you don't have to worry about, because they're custom made, so you guys can get the right shirt for you. Sonia says 5. Always you're identifying as trouble today. You're identifying as trouble today. Now, this is only, just to let you guys know, this is only for United States people, okay? So the giveaways are only for the United States folks. We cannot do overseas. We don't have it's too expensive to mail stuff. So if you guys are please don't participate if you're overseas. So Sonia, from now until Friday, when we come live on Friday, put our people on the wheel. Put our people on the wheel. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's help. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you for not stopping on this case. Well, I had to take a break. I really did. I was at my max capacity and stress level on this case, but I think we've had enough downtime. Thank you, Michelle. I think we have had enough downtime that we, whatever. Okay, and you do not have to be here. This is going to be cool. We haven't done a shirt one, and I'm kind of popping it on you on Friday, and I don't know what time I'm going to be running Friday, so I don't think it's going to be fair. Thank you, Texas woman. I don't think it's going to be fair that I force you guys to be here when we don't know what time we're having the drawing. So it's going to be the first show that me and Sonia. I'm going to say that because if I start a show at 3 a.m. and she's not up, we're not going to be pulling a name. But the first show that I have on Friday that me and Sonia are together, we will pull a name. You do not have to be here for the drawing, but you will have to reach out to Sonia and give her your information so you can get your item. There is only one requirement for any drawing that you have. You either have to take a picture without your head, unless you want your head in the photo. But if you don't want your head in the photo, you got to take a picture of the shirt, or you have to take a picture of the shirt. Like once you get it, you got to take a picture. You don't have to wear it, but you have to take a picture. Some people are just weird about being put on, in front of 2,000 people. So I try to be respectful of that. But damn it, I want to see the product, okay? I'm just saying. I'm a little selfish like that. I want to see the smile, okay? That's all. Nerdy Girl gifted a Bullhorn Buddy membership. If you received your Bullhorn Buddy membership and it looks like it went to Dixon, it's nice to see you. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the insane asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room and welcome aboard. Who knows? Good morning. It's nice to see you. Me and you. Good morning. All right, guys. So let's get to the topic. We had some questions about the dogs. We're confused about the dogs. Is this another lie from Sheriff Snuggle Struggles, Eric Craddock Dick? Is it another a lie? Is he throwing us off? We know he's willing to lie about the lights video. So is he lying about the false positive hit? Is he lying about the false positive hit and confusing us? Are we overlooking major information here? And have we overlooked it because the sheriff said it? We know the sheriff has deceived us before. We cannot take every word he says. We have to, decipher, can we trust him? GG for Life gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. MJ, welcome to this family. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room and welcome aboard, because I'm a love machine. Where's my love machine? Oh, I'm a love machine. Danger. You need your padded room because we're danger. Okay, I'm done. Mrs. Thornton, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Grave Crime with Grace. Good morning. Good morning, loves. Good morning. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. So let's go back. I'm going to tell you guys what I did. Let me go ahead and put this up here for you so you guys, we can all be kind of working and seeing what I did. Okay, so what I did is I put Sebastian Rogers, dog, okay, in here. So I wanted any article that had anything that had mentioned Sebastian Rogers, or a dog. Okay, that was the search criteria. Now, it pulled up a lot of crap. Okay, over the years, we've talked about dogs, but I didn't want to just talk about dogs. I wanted it for a specific area. So you guys see this right up here? You guys see that right up there? That's the area. Do you see where I'm searching for that information? I'm very, very specific. The reason why I'm showing you guys this is because we have good researchers on our team. We have good researchers out there. We have people that are smarter than me and know better how to better pull information than the way I'm showing you, and I get that. But there's a lot of people that don't know how to do a stick of research, and they just go and run their mouth on social media. So this is really for those idiots, okay? I want to show them how to search for proper information so they're just not pulling information out of their butthole and spreading it around as fact, okay? So this is how we were able to determine anything related to the dogs. Now, is this the first one related to the dogs? The first time we talked about dogs, was it really on the first? I don't think so. I think it was really there on the grounds, but I digress. We're going to go through this. We're going to listen to what is being said about these dogs because that is the focus. And then we'll modify our searches and look a little bit deeper into this scenario, okay? But right now we're going to go top down because we've got these in date order. Do you see this? It's got the first, it's got the second, it's got the third. We can do more. We've got other things that just came out in the last 23 hours, which I don't like because that's not so I got to be careful where I do that because I want my tool to only be this custom time frame, the 26th through the 4th. And I might critique that a little bit and do it. Actually, you know what? Let me change that. We'll change that here in a little bit. Let's get through these. And let me go over here and do the same thing. Time, custom range. Let's do over here 02, 26, 24. And then do, I think 02, 29. 02, 29. 2024. Okay, here we go. This is kind of more relevant here. Here's all the ones that, because the first ones that started out on that one were from, 26. This is from the day. Let's look at this one. This
is a News 2 breaking news alert.
And I want to start with this breaking news. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office is...
Are we echoing? I just want to make sure we're not echoing. It looks like everything's working on my end, but I did a lot of adjustments today and we needed to test the system this morning and we haven't. So is that echoing? No, perfect. Thank you, Vicki.
Searching for a missing teenager this morning. News 2's Jaxie Pigeon joins us live from Hendersonville with the latest efforts. Jaxie, multiple emergency crews right now searching for this teen.
That's right, Mark. It's all hands on deck here. As you can see behind me, there's so many agencies. I was just told that we have THP, TBI, City of Hendersonville, there's teams there, as well as here we're at the Shackle Island Fire Department. They believe he was last seen at midnight walking out of his house. Because of his mental illness, they do believe that he walked out, but
they call it a mental illness because of his mental illness.
Last seen at midnight walking out of his house. Because of his mental illness, they do believe that he walked out, but they have nothing to verify that just yet. They've been going door to door. Now, they do
nothing to verify that just yet. I wonder if they ever got anything to verify that. Because it's my opinion, they do not have anything to verify that.
Do think that he had a black sweatshirt and black sweatpants on last night as well.
And that brings me to a good point, folks. This brings me literally to a fantastic point. And that fantastic point was the clothes that his mother originally stated he disappeared in. Okay? I'm not sure why it was changed to Adidas striped pants and a long sleeve shirt from a sweatsuit. It seems like a sweatsuit would have been more appropriate for him to have left the house with. So I'm wondering if they found the sweatsuit that she stated that he left the house in, and that sweatsuit was changed. You know, I'm speculating here, guys. I just want you to know that I got nothing. You know, I'm speculating here. I'm just throwing that out, wondering what, because this is why it's so important to go back to the beginning, folks. We forgot the problem that they had with the very first thing with Sebastian. What was he wearing the night before? There, for an entire news cycle, we were looking for a boy in a sweatsuit. So, Betty, question for you. Has Seth ever questioned where Sebastian's closet, that he was at the Texas Roadhouse with? My understanding, yes, I did. I think what you're talking about, maybe I know that this question is not very clear, but I think your question is about the clothes. Were they able to locate the clothes he was in at the Texas Roadhouse? Is that what you're asking? I think that's what you're asking. You want to know where the original clothes was? You can just say yes or no in the chat. Yeah, we'll get to the barefoot. Has anybody ever questioned where Sebastian's outfit was that he was wearing it? Okay, yes, that's what I thought you were asking. Okay, so my understanding, the answer that I've got is law enforcement has it. From what my understanding is, they did acknowledge he was not wearing the same clothes that he had at the Texas Roadhouse, and it is my understanding that his Texas Roadhouse outfit is in the possession of law enforcement. Now, I don't know if that means the shoes or not, because I never heard law enforcement taking shoes. Even though it seems like no shoes. I don't know. I don't know what law enforcement has. I'm speculating about that. I don't know for a fact. But I've been told that Sebastian's clothes are in law enforcement, that he was wearing at the Texas Roadhouse, that they're in law enforcement's possession. That's what I was told. Now, is that true? The hell if I know. I can only tell you what I was told. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I don't know personally. I can tell you the sheriff is not talking to Bullhorn Betty. The sheriff wants just to duct tape me and throw me away, right? He wants to handcuff me, duct tape me, and throw me in a pit, okay? So obviously he can't do that. He tried. It turned out really bad. It turned out really embarrassing for them, in my opinion. It wasn't embarrassing for me. I still had held my head up high, even with a judge condemning me. Yeah, I think he needs to worry about his own life and his own problems that he has personally before he starts judging other people, because it sounds like the judge has some judging of some public judgment that can be had on him. So it's always easy to rule over other people and to be nasty, but I had a right to be there. I had a right to do what I did, and the judge was wrong, and so were the sheriff, and so was that shitty ass detective Lisa Byington. Terrible. She didn't deserve to have her pension. And, I kind of understand why people are working to strip judges as well as law enforcement officers of their protections, because this is the kind of shitty shit law enforcement does, the slimy shit that they do. And people are tired of it. We want to start holding them accountable personally. All right? I'm on both sides of this fight because I think we should be protecting our law enforcement. But when you have corrupted law enforcement like we have in Sumner County, well, by God, we need to have avenues to go and prosecute those bad actors. And so, that's kind of where the struggle is. And if it wasn't for horrible law enforcement, good law enforcement wouldn't get a terrible name, And I know a lot of law enforcement officers. I care about law enforcement. I don't want law enforcement losing their life. I think every law enforcement has a job to do, and they do it for their country, for the love of their community. And you take one bad actor, and you can thwart the good morale for many. And it's a shame. It's a shame. But when you're in a corrupted area, the only way you thrive is being as corrupted as the bosses. And so that's the problem I have with law enforcement. And we have obviously a culture at Sumner County that needs to be broken up. And we have a culture in Manatee County that also needs to be broken up. So I'm working on both of those fronts. And we got an issue going on in Kentucky. And we got Michael and Dell in Minnesota. I don't know. We might be traveling. We might need to get our wheel legs back. I don't know. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be wild. This is going to be a wild election season. I'll tell you that. Sheriff is busy building an expensive home, and this, yeah, wow. I think it's time for us to just really take a deep dive into the sheriff, and all of his stuff needs to be public records. If he's there and he's doing corrupted stuff and getting paid to it, if he's not paying market value, or he's getting a benefit for working with the builder, or getting a discount for working with the builder, I will sniff that out. And by God, if you commit a federal crime, I am going to make sure you pay for that. So everything better be above board, And I don't trust the sheriff. And it seems like two powerful people that are associated with builders and developers in their county keep sitting at home while their child is nowhere to be found. And it sounds like they have enough evidence to bring, charges against them for the abuse of this child. Yet they fail to do that. And I know that they've communicated with certain punishments or gotten into fights on text messages. I'm certain that law enforcement can find a lot of that stuff. They're choosing not to, or they're choosing to dismiss it. I don't care. Sumner County makes me want to vomit in my mouth, okay? The way that they treated this son, the way that they treated his father, the way that they're treating the public, the way that they're treating the case, they are literally, by the time I'm done with them, people are going to be embarrassed to be part of Sumner County Sheriff's Office until the leadership is gone. Eric Craddock's got to go. He's got to go. He doesn't even deserve to wear a badge. Okay? He doesn't even deserve to wear a badge. And I truly believe that we will find some people that will open up to me, because I have heard that man has had an affair on his wife. Now, it was from years ago, but I'm eager to find out who that person is and interview him. And I'm going to. I'm going to make sure everybody knows exactly who they're voting for in the next election for Eric Craddock. That's for sure. So enjoy your house now before Betty takes it away. We're going to pull up a picture of him really quick so you can see Sebastian.
He's described as 5 feet 5 inches tall. He was weighing about 120 pounds and has dirty blonde hair. And then we have a map here coming up with the deputies searching several miles.
And don't forget, he had a lot blonder hair when he was younger. I think Miss Proudfoot forgot about that when she's like, oh, in the lighting you can really see his blonde, because she was showing such a young kid, and he was very, very blonde when he was a young kid. She had very limited photos of him, at his current age, which is just sad. Because we have identified that Katie Proudfoot, there was something between Katie, Chris, and Sebastian that happened after they moved in within the first 30 days of them being in this new house, the one off of Stafford Court. Some people were in the chat just the other day and say both Katie and Chris do not live in that house. They're renting that house out. I have no position on that. I don't know one way or another if that's true. People had asked me if Chris and Katie are still together. I don't know if that's true. What I can tell you is that we've heard multiple times from Chris that he forbids Katie to speak to anybody about this case by herself. And when she was on Dutch's interview, she was speaking on there by herself. And people say, well, how do you know? Chris could have been in the background or this, that, rah, 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 right? And yeah, that could be true, but we know Chris's behavior and his attitude, and he would not be able to contain himself if Katie wasn't doing everything perfectly. And Katie never does anything perfectly, so he would have been speaking. He would have been jumping in to clarify, right? To make things crystal clear, right? We got none of that. And we know that Chris's behavior would not be able to contain himself. He has an impulse problem. So that means when he feels like he will sit there for so long, but it's an obsessive compulsive disorder for him. He cannot contain himself for too long. He will jump out of his skin to correct something if he feels that it's not. And we got none of that. We got none of that throughout. So it's leading me to believe. Now, I don't know for a fact. Like I said, I'm just explaining the entire process of why I'm making the statement that I'm making. It's that I don't believe Chris was with Katie. So are they together? Are they going through a divorce? I don't know. I would have a hard time sleeping next to a woman that murdered her child, okay? Just me personally, any person, whether it was a mom or a dad, if they murder their child, I would have a problem sleeping next to them. So I have to assume that there are some type of problems within this family. There were some type of problems in this family before this situation happened. Chris and Katie were having marital problems. Chris left that house demanding her make a decision, either her son or him. And he never returned home again until Sebastian was gone, and then he came back home, and everything was hunky-dory. Now he's protecting his wife. He's being the husband she wanted him to be, but Chris is a philanderer. He cannot stay faithful for the life of him. It's just his makeup. He had a terrible mother. He was most likely abused as a child. And he has poor opinions of women. And therefore, he uses women, and he wants to feel like a real man by marrying them so he doesn't feel like he's a piece of shit. So it doesn't matter because he can't stay faithful to any of them. He's 40 years old, and he's on his fifth wife that he's having marital problems with. We already know conclusively, especially in Alabama, he was having sex with a bartender. Okay? Married to Katie. Katie being at home in Tennessee. Now, some people say they were swingers and they had this open lifestyle, and maybe that's the case. I've never heard them speak about it. I mean, we look at Chris's ass. It looks like he's wearing granny panties. Who knows how he swings? I don't know. I'm not in that lifestyle. I don't, I can identify people on substance abuse and alcohol. You know why? Because that's in my wheelhouse. That's my experience, okay? Being a swinger, being a ho-ho-ho, having an open relationships, that's not kind of part of my makeup, okay? When I'm in a relationship, I'm a selfish bee, okay? I like that person for me, okay? And I like me for them. So, I'm not with all this openness. I think it's immoral, okay? That's me. I think it's immoral. I don't, I just think, a little differently. I'm not with the 2025, okay? I'm actually kind of with the 1969. Actually, that's probably a bad era. Maybe 1950s. Okay? I'm back to the 1950s, okay? I'm a 1950s girl. I was born in the wrong era. I told you I had an old soul, okay? I told you I had an old soul. Now, I wouldn't put up with all the abuse of the men back then or them telling me what to do. I ain't that kind of 1950s lady. But as far as my morality, okay, I'm kind of like I'm not a 2025 morale person, okay? I'm a 1950, morals person, okay? I like that. I like the morals of the human makeup back in the 1950s. The garbage that we're pushing out this day in 2025, well, you guys can take that and shove it where the sun don't shine. You're going to have to deal with that. Those are your children. They're not mine. I'm just saying. You guys have to deal. You guys got to deal with the creations more than I do. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm not saying anything. I'm not judging. I'm not. Maybe just a little bit. I was just judging you a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm judging you. But, there was a problem with his clothing. So even out the gate, this is literally day one, guys. This right here, and it's sad. This first news organization, you know how many people saw this video right here? This is like one of the first videos about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and still a year later, only 447 souls have watched this video I'm showing you in over a year. Only 447 people online have seen this video I'm showing you. This is how new this case was when this had no interest. This case had no interest. You know what brought this case interest? Social media. Social media took this case. Social media turned Sebastian Rogers into our kid. Social media took ownership of Sebastian Rogers and his father, Seth Rogers. Social media, the true crime genre, not the hate channels. We're not going to say crama. There is no crama. You're either hate or you're true crime. There's no middle road, okay? So whenever you guys say that, you guys, no, we're not saying they're hate channels, okay? If you guys are going to speak about them appropriately. They're hate channels. We are true crime. There is no gray area for true crime and drama, okay? There's none. These are real life cases. They can take that ghetto bullshit and take it packing back to the 8 Mile. I don't care. That ghetto crap has no place in these cases. None. This case, this news clip right here, only 447 people to this day have watched it.
Miles in this area of Beach and Shackle Island near Long Hollow Pike. Like I said, they are going door to door, and they believe he did walk out of his house because of his mental illness. They said he likes to fish. We're learning more. I just got that update just a few minutes ago, so we'll keep you updated as we learn more here. But if you do...
Let me guess, Katie's like, well, I don't know what happened to my son, but he likes to fish. He likes to fish. He must have went toward the water. You fucking bitch. You nasty ass bitch. You know where all the misinformation came from that morning? You want to know where all the misinformation came that morning? You know where all that misinformation came that morning from? They came from that bitch. They came from Katie Proudfish. Hashtag Katie Proudfoot. We want to make sure we're lethal. Hashtag. That's like a what was that thing? Friends. Pivot! Hashtag! Hashtag kitty! Hashtag kitty! It's lethal! It's lethal! Ask Sebastian Rogers! Okay, that was a horrible joke. Horrible. Golly. Betty, what's going on with you? That ain't even funny. I agree, that's probably not funny. All right, I did it. It happens. Some days were funny, some days were not. So we have Katie saying, basically implying, let's really understand what we're hearing here, okay? Because we kept wondering how in the world they thought that this child would be in the water. Remember we kept saying that at the beginning? Raise your hand. If you're in the chat, raise your hand if you remember us questioning, because of course, naturally, when we're hearing this in real time, we're thinking autism. I think majority of us think the water. When we think of autism and children running away from home or getting out, eloping, we didn't even know at the time what the hell eloping was. We were ignorant with autism, right? But we know that every story we're hearing, little child gets out, oh my gosh, they wander to the water, they found him in the water. It makes me wonder how many parents take them to the water. Okay, I'm sorry. I've always asked that. I've always asked that, because you got to ask, I think the statistics on child homicide with autistic children are much higher than they'd like to acknowledge, except a lot of these are going as accidental drownings. I'm sorry. There are a few of those that I just don't believe, with their family makeup and design, I just don't believe that they were true child ran away out the door and drowned. Okay, I'm sorry, I just don't. And some people may be upset, but either way, let's get back to the day of Sebastian. Let's talk only about Sebastian. We asked the question early on. Yes, he swims like a fish, but we didn't learn that. When did we learn that? We learned that on the 4th of March when she gave the green shirt interview. That's when we learned he swam like a fish. We never understood. It wasn't until Seth said, I don't know why, I can't remember what he said, but he was almost implying, I don't know why he's going to this, why they're searching the streams and waterways, I think, because he was like, he doesn't like dirty water. He would never swim in those areas. And that was the first time we realized Sebastian knew how to swim. So why in the hell would law enforcement believe he would have been drawn to water or drown in the water if he swam like a fish and he knew exactly how to swim? Those things did not equal in my mind. I couldn't understand why they were being said the way they were said. And I even questioned it. I said, why in the world is Katie asking... Oh, yeah, I see a few of you guys put your hands up. Why is Katie why is law enforcement going toward the water if they know that he's not going to go jump in the freaking lake? And if he did jump in the lake, he knows how to swim. He's not going to drown. And now it's all making sense because we didn't see this clip. Why didn't we see this clip? Because this clip only had 447 people that watched it, folks. So this clip here is telling us that Katie told law enforcement that Sebastian loved to fish. It seemed like she was the one pushing the waterways, wasn't it not? Is it not? It sounds to me. Did I see Mr. and Mrs. E come in? Oh, there you are. I completely agree about the drowning not always being accidental. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I don't believe all of these cases 100% of the time have no foul play in it. It's just there's nothing that they can prove, and it's so common that I think people get frustrated. And I'm sorry. It's just I don't. I have a low appreciation of some human beings. I hope you guys are doing well. So we have improper clothing. We have them going toward the waters instead of away from the waters when we know he's not in the waters. So who's feeding law enforcement this information? The only person feeding law enforcement this information that morning was Katie Proudfoot. So how could she forget what he was wearing? And how could she forget he swam like a fish and would never go toward lakes or waters unless it's a pool? Yeah, don't forget the bulldozers. Inga's reminding us. Yeah, let's finish. Let's keep going. Interesting stuff.
You see Sebastian Rogers or know anything about where he may be, you're asked to call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. That number is 615-451-3838.
Now, remember, there was a whole slew of cameras that were outside of their house this day as well, because this was a major case in their community. And Chris went out there and threatened those camera people to keep his house off the footage. He really wanted I've never met somebody that's so private that they don't really care about the location of a stepson over them people keeping his house off the news. That was the most mind-boggling, mind-blowing statement I think I've ever witnessed. In all reality, I guess it wasn't witnessed right in real time, but we all witnessed it. We all found out that he was yelling at the news crews about his house. Not about helping find Sebastian, not about going and getting in front of those cameras with Sebastian's photo and saying, hey guys, anybody that can help us. You know, my wife woke up this morning and our son was gone, right? You would think that would be the first thing that they would do. But it wasn't. The first thing it was is screaming and telling people basically don't put my house in the who cares? That's where a child disappeared from. Why would you not want that being I'm just confused.
This is a News 2 breaking news alert.
Breaking tonight, the FBI is now involved in the search for a missing teenager.
And the sudden cold snap is ratcheting up the urgency as crews race to cover more ground. Search crews 200 people strong have spent 3 days scouring the area around 15-year-old Sebastian.
And this was...
15-year-old you see here first.
Sorry. This one was urgent. Okay, this one was from February 29th. The one that we are watching right now is up so I guess that's not. Hold on, which one are we on? Okay, we just got done with that one. And this one is FBI called. So let me find out what date that one. Okay, this one is from February 29th. Okay. So that's where we are. February 29th. Let's get back to it.
Crews 200 people strong have spent 3 days scouring the area around 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers' home to no avail. With an active Amber Alert now in effect, the clock is ticking. News 2's Maya Owens joins us live tonight from Hendersonville. Maya, what's the latest?
Well, Bob, Haley, tonight the tone has been centered around prayer. Right now, we're outside of the command post for this search. But across Sumner County, there has been an outpouring of support for Sebastian and his family as the days continue to go by and he is still not found. Many people simply are hoping that answers will come soon.
We humble ourselves and we beg that you would rescue Sebastian.
Inside the Northfield Church in Gallatin.
That you would bring him home safely.
It's not a simple prayer.
It sounds like there were some community members and clergy leaders that spoke often of Sebastian. Where are they now? I hope this lady here is still keeping his memory alive inside that church. Because we need clergymen across this country helping us. We need clergymen right in that county helping move the needle. Because there's some things, and we need clergy people out there talking about the corruption in your community. Leading a congregation blindly, that's not God's calling. That's not God's calling at all. Not wanting to bring politics into church, that's not God's calling anyways. Or either. That's not God's calling.
Father, we are afraid.
But it's one many in Sumner County are saying tonight, hoping 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers will get home safely.
I think initially Monday, some people thought maybe he's doing what Sebastian does, which is hide. I think every kid likes to play hide and seek. But as Monday kind of played out, we realized that something isn't right.
I think that's the sentiments of everybody. I think it was by, day 1, 2, or 3 is when we realized something isn't right. The story isn't right. The story is not working right. Because in a situation like this where a child wandered off, that child would be found. But it comes back to the dogs. It comes back to the dogs. And what in the world happened with the dogs? Where is my search for the dogs? This is my search for, oh, sorry. Hopefully I didn't just dock somebody. Let me pull this back. Let me pull this back while I go through some stuff. There we go. Hold on, guys. Let me get you off here for a second. There we go. Hopefully I didn't dox anybody. I'm sorry if I doxed you. Hopefully nobody will be stupid enough, but you never know. Sebastian dogs. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry. You want to hear about the dogs. So let's move this around. I gotta let them load, and then I gotta pause them. Okay, we got that pot. Give me a second. I gotta wait until all the other ones are pulled up. Okay, and then one more. Okay. All right, so I think we got them all. Let's go ahead and pull it back up.
People have been searching every day, every night, nonstop, 24 hours around the clock, it seems like.
Neighbors, friends, and local and state agencies are going to extensive lengths to find a missing 15-year-old in Sumner County. Welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Haley Wilkes. It has been 5 days since police say Sebastian Rogers seemingly walked away from his Hendersonville home. Investigators say there has been no sign or sighting of him since. News 2's Tori Gessner is joining us live tonight after watching investigators' efforts all day in this search. Tori.
So now we're going back and getting into the discussions. I'm not being able to watch the chat too much, so please chat amongst yourself. Once I get through this clip, I'll go back and see if I can answer any questions. I'm not trying. Oh, we already have some snagging coming, some snafu on the horizontal. Let me just check the vertical. We're having some issues with the vertical streaming as well. So it looks like we're having some, some buffering. So just bear with it, folks. Bear with it.
Well, Haley, new agencies have now joined in on this effort, including Franklin Police's dive team and the Greenbrier Fire Department. Now, we have not received any update from law enforcement at any time today, but we have been able to keep an eye on what investigators have been doing today. Now, earlier this morning, there were crews around Sebastian Rogers' home. A bloodhound was sniffing around the area, and a dive crew put on wetsuits with oxygen tanks. It's unclear why they returned to that area, though. We do know search crews moved their efforts west of the original search grid today. Yesterday, they focused on bodies of water, even draining a pond east of Sebastian's home. 200 people have been on the ground each day, and many are flying helicopters and drones in the air. Police are asking neighbors to not join in on this search, but they should check their own properties every morning and night in pairs. Residents have been looking for any disturbances.
And that's another thing. For a community like this to have a missing boy, for them to demand that nobody join in, no volunteers, they had no volunteer searches. And we know 90% of people that are found that are dead they're found by normal people. They're found by the public. They're not found by law enforcement. Okay? So we know statistically, law enforcement very rarely finds these bodies out in this type of scenario, and it's usually the public that finds them. Yet this investigative body wanted no outside help. So it's just it's frustrating. It's frustrating, and you can't teach this to law enforcement. Okay, You just can't teach this to law enforcement. They look at you and say, you don't know more than me. And it's like, I've studied more of these cases than your poor little career could ever even touch. And they are so arrogant that they refuse to listen to reason.
And have been checking small spaces where a child may hide on their property. Sebastian's neighbors say the whole community has been worried.
I know me personally, I have kids that are in elementary school and middle school. Every day we drive by the command center. My kindergartner says, Mommy, have they found him? And I say no. And she says, I wonder
how she feels. You know, I bet you she's probably, and I'm not being rude to you, Courtney, but are you going to be supporting Eric Craddock for his next election? Are you going to be supporting Eric Craddock for his next election? Because I would like to know, because if you really care about this child, or if your child went missing under suspicious circumstances, whether you were the reason for the suspicious circumstances or somebody else, would you think that this would be okay, an okay investigation if it was your child? Because Sebastian is somebody's child, right? And if this is unacceptable for you as a parent, then you need to be speaking up loudly in your community. Loudly in your community. Because this is not okay. We cannot support Eric Craddock any further. We just can't. He has destroyed this community. And he hasn't even been in office a full year.
Makes me sad, Mommy. He's probably really hungry. And I said, I know, they're still looking. And it's a daily thing. So I can only hope for the best so that I can give her a positive outcome.
At last checks.
So we got that. Let's look at the dogs. There's the dogs. Out there. Searching for Sebastian with his handler. I can tell you, and I will have to find it. I know we showed it on here, but we have that Widener guy, whatever his name, Ken Widener. He came on a press conference and said in his 30 years, he has never, ever had, and never found in his 30 years, he's never not found something, is basically what he said. I can't remember verbatim what it was, but it was basically saying, look, if this child was missing or walked off, we would be picking up something, but we're picking up nothing. That dog's not picking up anything. Okay, you can tell when a dog's picking up something. That's not picking up something. He's kind of all over the place. He's trying to track a scent. He's trying to find a scent, That's what you're looking at him doing, is working to find a scent.
Another critical day of looking for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers in Hendersonville has come and gone, and after yesterday's search, there was still no sign of the autistic teenager. Brianna Hamlin joins us now from the command post out on Long Hollow Pike. So, Brianna, today is now the 7th day of the search for Sebastian. What are you hearing from authorities there?
Well, I'm actually here with EMA Director, Sumner County EMA Director Ken Widener.
I think this might be it.
To get a direct update on this search that's happening. And so, what is the plan for today? This has now been a week since we've last seen Sebastian Rogers.
Yeah, we're starting day 7, and we've actually got search crews coming.
I don't think, I could have sworn it was at the 3 days. I could have sworn it was at his 3 days. This is a weekend. This may not be it. So let's listen to this.
And we've got a bus unloading right now. Yesterday we ran about 330 searchers on the ground, and we'll start that process again today and work through the day. We have a rough number of searchers today, but we'll have that final number at the end of the day, and we're just going to continue to work the search areas and expand that as we go.
Is it still, I know the focus has been, around water. Has anywhere of where you guys have been looking changed at all?
No, and
hey, Jill, Gina.
The thing with water is several people that I've spoken to and from some case study, autistic people like water. They like streams. We actually had a young kid come in here Tuesday that wanted to tell us where Sebastian might be.
So again, I understand the people helping, but one autistic child and the way they behave is much different than another autistic child. That's one commonality. None of them are the same, right? The only thing that I can attribute to all autistic children is gaming. Okay. It seems like that's very therapeutic for them, something that every single one of them needs to thrive. It's just something that over trying to learn more about autism and trying to find similarities, which I could never find any similarities. Like, yeah, they had light sensitivity, but each of them had different types of light sensitivity. They had, food sensitivity, but the sensitivity to the food was all different. Some people hated the taste of or the texture of, say, tofu, but Sebastian loved the texture of tofu, loved tofu. There's just a lot of differences, but the one thing that I could find that was most common in every autistic child, and there's only one. I mean, outside of, routine is another common feature of autistic children, but the outside of routine, there's only one item that I found that was from autistic child to and it's gaming. They autistic children game. They love gaming. That is their safety net. That is their safe space. Okay. If anything's getting out of control, put them in front of the game. They calm down. They thrive. The gaming system. It's something with the gaming system. And you guys know I don't really care for a lot of games. I don't mind games. I just don't like them being so violent. I feel like people are brainwashing themselves with the violence, and I feel like they're dehumanizing humans. Through being able to go shoot up grandma. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like seeing people getting points for shooting somebody, because in reality, you shoot somebody, they don't pop back up 5 minutes later. And I feel like even though people realize that, when they're brainwashing themselves for whatever reason, they don't think that they're human. I'm sorry. It sounds weird, but people are brainwashing themselves with these games. They really are. I mean, people are being military trained with these games. That's scary. Okay? Military trained.
In regards to where he would like to go. So we talked to him, and he said, that he liked streams. He liked being behind buildings or in buildings and small places and things like that.
But see, that's different for Sebastian, because Sebastian doesn't like dirt. He doesn't like dirty water. So those places that this kid would go is not a place that Sebastian would go. They're different autistic children. And Sebastian is not an eloper. His mom even told us he would never run away. Like, they've been trying to teeter the truthful line, but even trying to teeter the truthful line, it makes him look like a pile of poop.
We've had teams come in from East Tennessee, specialized search teams and cave rescue, and they're going in every cave that is marked or that we're aware of, and we've searched under the ground in culverts. The city of Gallatin brought their camera truck out, and they hit all the culverts in the area, and we cleared those. So we're just going to continue to expand and just keep pounding it out.
And we know a lot of agencies are here from across the state working together on this.
You're the first one. You're the first one I've ever found. My son hates gaming. He's autistic but loves cyber stuff. So that's the first one. I'm telling you, that is the one thing that I talk to hundreds, if not thousands, of people, and the gaming has always been the hot button for them and the thriving of their family. With the people in the chat that have autistic children, how many thrive off of gaming? Put a 1 in the chat if you have don't answer if you don't have autistic children or don't have an autistic family member. Like, even if you're a grandparent or a sibling or whatever. It's high in the numbers for the video games. But if that's not the way your child does, but the cyber stuff, it's interesting. What level, I guess, what part of the spectrum is your child? I'm curious, because I'd like to know what part of the spectrum is your child on. Is he like high functioning? Is he nonverbal? Where on? Because I feel like high functioning's on this side and nonverbal's on this side. So if he's kind of in the middle, kind of more nonverbal, kind of more active. So we can kind of, I'm high functioning. Oh yeah, we know you, Rev. Thank you for sharing that. But I'd like to understand that a little bit because, you know, I like to be factual. So we're gonna have to take back the one thing I can say is more. I'll have to say that is most common in autistic children would be gaming, because Nero's the first time I've heard of them not liking gaming, and she's saying her son does not like gaming. So we can't say all. Well, we can say most. My son is high functioning. Okay, let me go up to Doodle Mom. See what your answer was. 1. Okay, so you're okay, so you got high functioning. So I'm wondering what that is for Nero. But Nero, answer that when you can so I can just have a baseline on that. My kid's high functioning, loves games. So maybe it's a high functioning. Maybe I've got some of it wrong. My son has Asperger's, high functioning. So we have a lot of high functioning. River loves playing, so it seems maybe high functioning. I think a lot of people are misdiagnosed with autism when they truly have a learning disability, ADD or ADHD. Interesting. I've always thought, yeah, I'm kind of there with you too, Miss Thornton. I think that people are being, misdiagnosed, but, to what degree, we don't know. He's doing cyber at college, extremely bright verbal, so very high functioning. Okay, well that's good. Can't make friends online. Okay, but social skills. That's what I hear. Social skills. Just to let you guys know that there has been some new things that have just recently came out this year for therapies of autism, and I'll have to find that back up. And I remember reaching out to Mr. and Mrs. E to tell them the day I found out about it, and I sent it over to them. And I think it's a vitamin A regimen or something like that. And people have really been saying that they've had some really good progress in countering some of that autism. And it's they believe it was something that blocked. I can't remember because I'm not medical. I guess if I was more medical, I would understand the words I'm using. But we'll have to pull that up because, Nero, if you got and it sounds like you got an adult child that's in college, maybe, and this goes for everybody, maybe you guys can go and see if maybe this therapy might help. Anything that could help, especially if it's not completely drug filled. Like this sounds like it's vitamin filled, which you're speaking my language, right? You guys know I'm all natural. I can't be 100% all natural. We do need, medication and stuff like that. I've got a ibuprofen and Aleve around here, but I prefer all natural. Some of our food, I get stuff that has preservatives and stuff in it, so I'm not fully all natural, but I like to, I like real sugar. I like cooking with real butter. I don't use, I don't listen to my government tell me that I need a chemical because my body can't process. They're trying to convince us that we need chemicals that our body can't process nature when we were designed in nature. Okay. And so they're telling us we need margarine instead of butter. I disagree with that. Now your body, you understand how the functions of the liver and the kidneys are, right? They're to pull out all the chemicals of your food. So guess what your kidneys and livers are doing? Your kidneys and livers are constantly trying to filter out chemicals all day and not processing the foods and the good nutrients. That's why I don't like chemicals in my food, okay? I don't like chemicals in my food. I don't like preservatives in my food. I'll deal with it. But yeah, I'm telling you folks, like bacon's good. Is it higher in fat? Yes. But the one thing that the human body needs is fats. Okay? You need fats to survive. You need fats. Bacon is good. Don't overeat. Exercise, just doing stuff. But you guys need healthy food. Healthy food. All right, let's get back to this.
That usual for a search like this, searching for a child?
Yeah, that's pretty common, and we make requests and we have people contact us and say, hey, we're available if you want us to come, and we vet that and we pull the trigger on it. And the biggest thing, and there's a lot of concern about utilizing volunteer searchers, and we can't manage 1,000 volunteers. We can manage the trained search teams that we can track and we have communications with. So
I disagree. I know when we had search volunteers for J.J. Rollins, it took about 4 officers to get that all ready, and they had about another 4 officers or 6 officers out in the field, so a total of 10 officers out of 300. I'm certain they could have afforded that. And basically they line you up. They have the crime scene tape. That's what you tie around your ankle. And you register, you bring your driver's license in, you register, and all they request is that when you leave, you check out with them. You let them know that you're leaving. And that's basically it. It doesn't need to be micromanaged, okay? I've done a lot of public searches on my own. I've been part of public searches that were ran by sheriff's office and police stations. We've done a lot of work over the years, okay? And it doesn't need to be this difficult. They chose to make it this difficult. And again, it goes down to professionalism and are these really the best people for the job? If you can't manage 1,000 volunteers, well, I mean, I'm sorry, we got some problems here. It doesn't take that much to manage 1,000 volunteers. How do I know? Because I've been in a search with 1,000 volunteers. That's how I know. You give people instruction. It's amazing how one person can stand up there with a microphone, give all these hundreds of people instructions, and they follow the instructions. It's not rocket science. And they even had us download an app on our phone, connect it with theirs so they could track us in real time. They didn't even need to have officers out there if they didn't want to. So always remember that. Always remember that. And we had to send our maps we had to email our maps where we walked and everything to the sheriff's department. They gave us an email, like everything was instructed. And it was amazing how we all worked together and did exactly what they asked us to do. It wasn't chaotic. They didn't have to scream at people. There was one person about 3 people or 4 people pack that kind of separated from the rest of us, and they're the ones that ended up ultimately finding J.J. Rollins. So, those things work. They work.
Rest assured, we're doing everything we can do. We talk to mom and dad and stepdad every day, and we'll talk to them this morning and give them an update on what we're doing. And,
Me too,
and we're just going to keep going at it.
Thank you so much for the work that you all are doing. And so that's why, as well, that the Sumner County Sheriff's Office has.
So this is not any of the ones that they've done. I'd like to see Matt or Ken Widener. He did state something. I will find it because it was on one of the news broadcasters, and I believe, if I had to think about it, I believe it was on either the 27th or 28th of February when he made the statement, and he made it to a news organization. It kind of just rolled off the tongue, and it was something like, yeah, it's problematic because I've been in this business for a while, and in 25 years we've never not found a scent, or something to that effect. It was very noticeable, and it just, he just happened to talk naturally, and he wasn't thinking that. Still, he wouldn't have said that if he thought there was criminality, right? So they were still under the premise that there's no criminality, but they're just shocked and bewildered that they're not panning out. Nothing is happening. They're not getting pay dirt on a location or even a beat on a scent. So that was starting, and I believe it was the 27th or the 28th that he said that. So I'll have to find that clip. If you guys know what clip that's in, or you have it readily available, send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. So let me see what we got going on here. Why did this just adjust on me? That is not cool. Don't know why that just adjusted on me. The computer just went doo-doo-doot, doo-doo-doot, and just adjusted on me. Huh. Interesting. Not sure why it did that. Either way, we don't care. Hopefully I don't have a line through my face on the vertical. It's so hard to see the vertical because the vertical's like this big on my screen, where the horizontal's like this big on my screen. You only get like this big to see and my box is about this big on the vertical, so I can't see shit. Okay, I'm just being honest. I can't see it. All right, guys. So behind me is Gray Hughes. Okay, Gray Hughes is a content creator on these platforms. I do not like him. I think he's an asshole. I'll just be honest with you. I think he's rude to women. I think he's condescending, and he loves to talk down to women. He's got problems, okay? He is definitely buddy-buddy with Chris Proudfoot, because that embodies exactly Chris Proudfoot's entire mentality. And, of course, this is another person that thought he was, and he's very arrogant. He's very, very arrogant. Like, I call people stupid from obvious stupidity, okay? He's just very arrogant. I'm not arrogant, okay? Occasionally, I'm snooty. Well, no, I guess so. I'm always snooty. I'm snooty. I'm a snooty person. So I guess that would be. But I'm not egotistical. I don't think I'm egotistical. The only time I sit here and are mildly, it's just to prove a hate channel wrong. It's not really from ego. It's just, more of a fuck you, not ego. So, anyways, getting back to this is their community. This is Gray Hughes. He spoke to Chris Proudfoot. Let me see one other thing. Hold on a second. Let me pull this back real quick. On both sides here. I want to see something here. Let's go to Sebastian Rogers. Dog jumps into pond. So it looks like around the 12th. Let's look at this one. What does this one have to say? There was a glimpse of hope the day as search dogs tracked a scent. Okay. And it turned out to be a false alert. So here is the statement. Hold on. We're on, it's going to bog the system down because we're on publication. And the publications suck. Okay. I hate publications. For people, quit having all this shit pop up on your publications. It's a pain in the ass. It does nobody any good. Get your freaking cash. All right. Let's go down here. So we got pond. Let me put this back up here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So I've got this article. This article was... Give me a second. Good gracious. You see all that crap that pops up there at the top? That's exactly what bogs the system down. All right, let me turn it back on for horizontal so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Let me clear this off. All right, here we go. So as you see behind me, let me scroll this up so it's kind of at the top of the screen. There you go. So as you guys see, it says there was a glimpse of hope that day as search dogs tracked a scent. It turned out to be a false alert. Investigators also drained a pond to the east of Sebastian's home and found nothing. Okay, so this is the false positive that we were talking about at the beginning. Is this another lie from Eric Craddock? Is this another lie from Eric Craddock, much like the lights video? They've been trying to convince us those lights videos are not a lights videos, and their most recent attempt is now it's not a garbage truck. It's actually reflections from a truck moving at 3 a.m. in the morning on the other road, unconnected with them. And the only way that you can justify those lights moving for a solid minute and 30 seconds is if that car was going up to the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill. And then the lights should only be moving back and forth in the same spots because he's going up the hill and down the hill and up the hill and down the hill and up the hill and down the hill, right? But that wasn't the case. It literally, this light went from way over here and just magically came way over here. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And they went on for a minute and 30 seconds. They could have drove that road up and back and up and back and up and back and up and back. They could have done that literally 5 different times in the minute and 30 seconds, in my opinion. Maybe 3 times at minimum, because that'll be 6 trips. Down, back, down, back, down, back. Okay? Maybe 2. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you, the car would have had to been moving in the same area over and over and over again to get a light to keep reflecting in the same spot. But the problem is it wasn't reflecting in the same spot. It was walking across a road, and they can't explain that. Or not road, grassy knoll, and they can't explain that. They can't explain that. So they're saying that this what I'm about to show you from what's his face. Let me get all this stuff off here. Gray Hughes. Allegedly, this is the statement from the stepfather rather, Chris Proudfoot, to, sorry, I'm trying to get all this stuff cleared off because it bogs down the system badly. This is what bogs down the system, so let me kick that. We got what we needed out of that. So now let's go to here. This right here is Gray Hughes. He's going to explain to us what he was told about this false positive hit, okay? And it kind of goes like this. Chris told him, right? He and Chris have this buddy-buddy relationship because they're both womanizing pieces of shit. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that Gray Hughes also is abusive physically to women as well, okay? You just don't have an attitude like Gray Hughes and be a good dude.
But he wants to keep making into something because they've run out of content.
Of course,
and so
that's what he
just
does.
Like reanalyzing this flashlight video over and over and over and over again. And when you start seeing,
sounds like an arrogant asshole, doesn't it? Just saying. Yeah. Gray, nobody likes you. You do great. You do great overlays. I think that's the only thing I like about you. I'm stealing your overlays, okay? Under fair use. But I think he's an asshole. Not a good dude.
people trying to do overlays.
He's a Chris Proudfoot.
As if the lights are from a satellite, you know they've jumped the shark. Okay, there is no doubt.
This is what we like about Gray Hughes. This crap right here that you're about to see. Okay. This is his, mapping and, walking and stuff like that. This is the real stuff, okay? This is the real stuff. This is what Christopher Proudfoot told him. He made up this mock-up. He went over this mock-up with Chris Proudfoot. This is Chris Proudfoot's statement to the world, okay? This is the one thing I can say about Gray Hughes is he didn't make this up, okay? That's the one positive thing I can say about Gray Hughes. What you're about to see is not made up by him. He didn't just listen to a report and make it. He spoke directly with Christopher Proudfoot. Christopher Proudfoot helped him draw these lines. And Christopher Proudfoot is the one that said, yep, this is exactly what happened. Okay? So this is Chris Proudfoot's statement of the dogs. Okay? I don't care what he says anymore to this day about this. This was his statement back then. Let's listen.
Out that it was taken right here at this house. So then it's facing that direction. And Chris Proudfoot's story absolutely makes sense. Now, he also explained to me the route that the dog took when it had a scent. So I'll put that in here as well. So he said that out the front door, it scented Sebastian, and then the dog scented around the house like this, and then back over here where it came out. The dog came out on, I think it's called Kellen Lane.
Now, I just want you guys to take notice here. What is the one thing that you notice about this dog's track? This is what makes me question, is law enforcement lying and deceiving us again? Because we just went over in length their statement that they've made about the light source, right? Do you guys know anything funny? Do you guys notice anything funny about the path that this dog took? Any of you? Do any of you have an idea what path this is? I can make it. I can make this very uncomfortably silent. I know how to keep my mouth shut. Do 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 do. Yes. Peculiar, just a weensy little bit peculiar that law enforcement is trying to tell us that there's reflections in this path, but apparently the dogs must be picking up the scent of some reflections off the headlights of a car on a road that's not even attached to this community. So it causes me to believe that law enforcement is not being very honest about the lights video and may not be very honest about the dog aspect either, because I think they both go hand in hand. I mean, they look like they're going hand in hand here, are they not? I mean, I'm just asking. This seems pretty problematic for me. This seems very problematic for me. Okay, now I got this thing kind of checked back in. We had a little bit of a hiccup on our app here. Let's see, the flashlights. There you are. Okay. Is it to the cemetery? Nope, it's not to the cemetery. It's the flashlights in the route. It's the flashlight pit video, okay? It's following the same path as the flashlights that law enforcement is trying to get us to act like it's just a reflection. Well, I've never seen dogs follow a reflection before. Never in the history of my being on this earth, 46 years on this planet, and I have never seen a dog scent, ground disturbance, or even a cadaver dog follow a reflection. Ever. Never seen this before in my life. This is a magical dog. A dog that could magically sniff out a reflection from a road over from this community. If you guys think I'm sounding pretty condescending, it's, yeah. If I sound a little sarcastic, yeah, I'm a little sarcastic. Because this right here is why I said it defies logic. Okay? Law enforcement is defying logic at this point. And that's why I believe law enforcement is lying. So let's go back. Let's just go back a little bit. Let's listen, and I'm going to shut up.
And back over here, where it came out, the dog came out on, I think it's called Kellen Lane. So it kind of came right in front of that same house that had the fixed light on it.
And the car in front of it.
Apparently walked this direction, And then right up here on Devon Court, took a right, and then went down this Parkenham Drive. Now the thing is all this is way more developed at this point, because this is a year ago.
Not much. Not that area.
4/14/2023.
I drove it, so I know.
And I think you could actually walk straight through.
Let me just clarify. This is still all dirt path back here, okay? When you get up to here, this is where they start having, all of this is all built out now. These things are all the way down here where the line is, you know, for the controls of this video. Down here in this area, yeah, you're going to see the developments, but it was still pretty dirt roady. We did have some, it wasn't completely dirt road. They did have the actual pavement in, but it wasn't finished pavement, because even the manholes were sticking up off the ground this far, you know, and that is pretty, you know, if you know anything about manholes, when you're driving on them, the cement is up, it makes the manhole flush, and so the manhole was still, you know, still had a significant, you know, it could do some damage to a wheel or a car. So we know, and you got to go over them easy, but they were still up, so it wasn't finished cement, but it was paved, not just dirt back there. But this area back here still wasn't as developed as he's making it out to be.
Like that, and apparently walked over here, and there's a retention pond right here now. And apparently that's where the tracking stopped, you know, and I guess it's not really that deep, that retention pond, so maybe he walked through it and the dog's lost his scent and he went somewhere else, maybe he went up this direction. We don't really know, but law enforcement is apparently going to, in the fall, when the leaves are off, are going to do another, you know, deep dive search in the area, because at this point the foliage is getting...
I will tell you, this area that he was just referring to, this area right here, 95% of the homes had Ring doorbells. 95% of the homes in that area had Ring doorbells. So if a truck came down that drive to the back of that property, or came from the back of that property to the entrance, they would have been picked up on 30, 40 cameras. Easy. There was 30 or 40 houses down that one stretch to the out. And every single house, I mean, there was one or two that just had regular doorbells on them. But, you know, for the most part, everybody on every single one of these homes had Ring doorbell cameras. So if law enforcement went over there and collected their footage, which, again, they made a lot of mistakes. They weren't thinking outside of the box, which is the biggest problem I have with law enforcement sometimes, especially detectives. They are trained inside of a box. They're trained to do their work inside the box. We are average Joes. We think outside the box. We find creative ways to get to the same answer a little quicker, okay? But law enforcement, if they went over there and if they grabbed the footage, we don't know if they did or not, because they won't talk. We will know who came into that community and who left that community, and how and for what. And you know what? It's sad, because like Mob Crew, I think Mob Crew, you know, I would be hitting those people up in that other community and seeing if somebody still has retained copies of their footage from that night. It might be more telling than what's going on inside of Chris and Katie's community. Because again, we did have a dog that tracked over here to a retaining pond. He was following something. He was following something. He was following something to that spot from the Proudfoot home. If it wasn't a Sebastian, who was it? I have seen a lot of dogs, and one thing I know is that this, from everything I've described, I even think Jules may even think that this might be something. I don't know. I got to talk to her about that. But you know, this is significant to me. And if Eric Snuggles, or Sheriff Snuggles is trying to convince us that the lights video wasn't the lights video, would he also be trying to convince us that the dog hit was a false positive? That was a pretty strong dog hit from everything that I can assess. That was a strong dog hit. The dog lunged into the water. And we've all had kind of this speculative nature about ourselves. where, we wonder what did go into that retaining pond. Was there more actors involved? Was a friend or a family member the ones that originally went over there and were seen, observed with the lights, and maybe they put Sebastian somewhere for another person to come pick Sebastian up, and that area that they thought would be best was over in the construction zone, and maybe they just laid him behind some brush or something else like that where his scent was really strong there until somebody came around the corner and picked him up and took him off for forever. And that would explain, we have to use Occam razor. That would be Occam razor. It would identify if these variables are true, that for us not to assume a whole lot. If the dogs tracked from their house to this retaining pond, is it possible that he was laid next to the retaining pond until a vehicle came and picked him up? Because according to Chris, he was there 1 minute in this area and then he was gone as if he got into a vehicle. You guys remember Chris saying that early on in the case? So, we're putting in some variables here, but we're using factual statements from law enforcement. So which is it? K9 Jules is in the... Oh, no, I did not know that. I'll have to give her a call. I was supposed to call her yesterday, and I did not. I've even got her sticky note right here. Dog Jules. There's my note right there to remind me to call her, So I just haven't done it yet. But this is kind of where we're at with this case. Okay, guys, it's not pretty. It's hey, Stephanie, Ivy, it's nice to see you. You're in the vertical chat. I appreciate you guys being there. All 54 of you. You guys are a blessing. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button in that chat as well as this chat. We have 276 in this chat. Thank you all for being here. I truly do appreciate all your love and support. This has been a very difficult case for me, as many of you guys know, not just difficult to cover, but, the lies, the swampy shit that they were doing, the corruption in this county. It is something I've never seen, but I'm up for the challenge, and I plan on whipping this community into shape. It may take me several years, but clearly they needed Bullhorn Betty, right? They called me. I didn't call them. So you don't get to throw me in jail and lie and deceive and do unlawful things and think I'm just going to be so gracious I'm out of jail. No, honey. No. That's not how Bullhorn Betty works. No, we're here for the long haul. You did that to me. What I'm about to do to you over the next 5 to 10 years is going to be pretty shocking, and it's all going to be lawful and legal. And when I'm done with you in Sumner County, I'm going to be working on the rest of your state. We will not have corruption in our country. I'm anti-corruption. I'm anti-Big Brother. I'm anti. You know what I am? What I'm not anti? I'm not anti-American. I'm not anti-love the neighbor. I'm not morally reprehensible. Okay? Like many other people are. This area needs Jesus. Okay? The people that are going to church, y'all need Jesus. Because people that go to my churches here in Florida act a lot differently than the people that go to church in your state. Okay? People that go to church in my state, when we have missing children, we come together and we fight. When people go missing in your state, you guys just don't want your day disrupted. That's pretty disgusting. That's pretty disgusting. Because it could be your child. It could be your kid. And you don't want to be disrupted. And how do I know that? Because Miss Bobby. Okay, not to throw her under the bus or anything like that. I think she's been thrown under the bus enough. I'm very appreciative of her work, but she was very honest when she told us she didn't want to be bothered with it, right? And neither does the people in the community, and that's the reality of it. Okay, well, here in Florida, we get bothered with stuff. We don't allow people to hurt our children and just turn the other cheek. Okay, that's not Christian. That's morally reprehensible to me. It's morally reprehensible. So I pray to God that the people in this community kind of understand where I'm coming from and don't misunderstand my criticism. I'm not criticizing you to condemn you. I'm criticizing you to make you not want to be criticized, to kind of apply a little pressure for you guys to start standing up and being vocal. Okay? That's the purpose of all of this. Because at the end of the day, it's the people. If you guys want something stopped, you could get it stopped. Okay? It's the people. We have the power. Now, if you want to act like you don't have the power, that's on you. But you guys have the power for change. In this community, you guys have the power for change. And I hope that one day you guys become that power of change. Because Sumner County does need it. So, I just pray that people in that community start, looking at Mr. and Mrs. E, the Mr. and Mrs. Car Guy, Silver's on the scene, and start being inspired by them. Start getting inspired. Start realizing that it feels good to do good. You get more accomplished by being a good person and a good steward of your community than you do ignoring it. Okay? When people need help, you need to step up to the plate, because what would you want if you need help? Do you guys understand that? And trust me, it's never the people that you help that help you back. But what I find is if you don't help that person when you need help, those other people that help you are not there. I don't know how it works. Maybe it is karma. Maybe it's something supernatural. I don't get it. But one thing I've learned is that when you help somebody, it's very rarely that person helps you in your time of need, but you are helped by someone. Someone is there for you. And maybe if you say, nope, Betty, nobody's ever been there for me. Well, then you got to ask yourself, have you been there for other people? Maybe you say yes. Maybe you're just an outlier. Maybe you're just, one of those people. It happens. One of those people that just have, crappy luck, never gets seen or heard. Maybe it's just like that. And, I'm sorry that it is. But in my experience, my personal experience, it's never been the people I've helped that's helped me. But I know when I've turned my back on people that I could have helped, when I needed help the next time, I noticed it was a lot harder to get that help. But when I've helped other people, maybe it wasn't them that helped me, but there was always help there for me. And again, it could be supernatural. It could be karma. It could be a whole host of things. I don't know why. I don't know how it happens like that, but it just seems like it does. So if you can be there for somebody, be there for somebody. But I also believe that, like in a scenario like Chris and Katie, they weren't there. They're a total failure. They are still a total failure. They will never, I don't think at this point there's anything they can do to make themselves look any better or any worse in our mind. Well, they could definitely make them, I don't even think they can look any worse in our minds. I really don't. I think we all think they're pieces of shit, right? And so I don't think that there's really anything that they could do to look any worse or any better, because they don't look better. They don't look good at all. They look like pieces of shit that hurt their son. That's what they look like. And we all know that that's what it looks like. We can sit there and some of you guys might want to be PC. Well, law enforcement hasn't said it yet. Or you can be, looking at statistics and saying, something's got to give here. And why are they not in jail for the abuse allegations? Or at least arrested for the abuse allegations? At least, bringing those forth. Why? Because they have a prosecutor that doesn't know what I don't like the prosecutors in Tennessee. We need prosecutors that are a little more aggressive, that have bigger balls. These old kooks that have been in the office for 40 and 50, they got to go. Okay? I'm sorry. And the DAs can be pissed off at Betty. I don't care. If you're old, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to retire. Okay? We need younger people that understand new law. Okay, we're not dealing with laws back in 1969. Okay, we're dealing with laws in 2025. We're dealing with, a lot of stuff for circumstantial evidence. Clearly, the old bags that are running these departments, these DA's offices and prosecution offices, obviously aren't with the new technology. I don't know. All I know is that Tennessee is one of the far worst cases states that bring circumstantial cases. Yet in 2025, we should have more circumstantial cases than not, just because of all the data, just because of all the electronics that we follow and everything. You know what the problem is in Tennessee? There's several problems in Tennessee. One, they need to strengthen their laws. Two, they need infrastructure. Get yourself some blessed infrastructure. Tennessee is bringing in a crap ton of money. You know what? All these people, from the governor to the senators, love padding their pockets. But you guys are going without. Every one of you in the mountain areas that are struggling to have internet, you deserve better. You deserve better from your state. You deserve better from your state. There's no excuse why mountainous states cannot have internet in 2025. If they believe that, they are lying to you. They are squandering your taxpayer money on bullshit and not the stuff that affects their citizens in their state. You need to get control over that, folks. There's a lot more that can be had in the state of Tennessee. There's a lot of, and you guys get into the businesses. You guys see what's lacking in Tennessee. Go develop a business, get in Tennessee, and go make yourself your $1 million and your American dream. There's a lot of help that needs to be had in Tennessee. You can build a business in Tennessee on the help that Tennessee needs. Be smart. Be smart, folks. Be smart. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. God bless each and every one of you. We're still fighting to find out the truth about Sebastian Rogers. We know everybody has lied, from law enforcement to Chris and Katie Proudfoot to Chris's mom and stepfather, sisters, the whole damn family's lying. The whole damn family's lying. And we know that sleazy, slimy, swampy aristocratic is out there trying to get money for higher wages, trying to get a better office, and building a brand new multi-million-dollar or $1 million home while never once asking for funds for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He is a piece of shit. Okay? A class-ass piece of shit. Aw, thank you, Mama. I appreciate that. And we need to fight back. Lawfully and legally. Raise our voices. Start getting in those GOPs. Start making noise. We need Eric Craddock out in 2028. He's got to go. He can no longer stand to be here unless they have 2 years. I think the sheriff position in Sumner County's 4 years. But unless we're in Sumner County, we have no effect on their voting. The only thing we can do is keep stripping them of federal funds until everybody in their community is so pissed off that they start firing the people because they're being strangled. They're having to pony up more and more money to pay for their services because the feds are not going to be supporting them. That's the only thing that we can do. And we have no other political pressure to apply in this community because we have no political pressure from Bill Lee. He doesn't want to step in the bullshit because he's coming up for election. And Marsha Blackburn doesn't want to step in this crap because she's coming up for election. These are both failures in the Republican Party. Bill Lee as well as Senator Marsha Blackburn. And we're not going to say different until they start coming up with some plans about all these people missing in their state and how they're planning on finding them and bringing them home. God bless.